Well, I mean, I think, to be honest, the G7 is saying what's already been said. I mean, there wasn't anything particularly new. It was just said in a different format, by the seaside this time rather than in various capitals around the world. So I'm not sure that there's a dramatic shift. And there is, of course, a difference in the language. I think US President Biden was being far more aggressive in the approach towards China than, say, we were hearing from Macron or from the European leaders. So there is, beneath the surface, clearly still some kind of division. With regards to the medium-term economic outlook, I mean, I think, to be honest, the approach of the G7, that kind of thing, isn't going to make much of a difference. We've got bigger forces at work in the global economy, shifting supply chains, localization, what we're seeing already start to emerge in the aftermath of the pandemic as the fourth industrial revolution really takes hold. Those things are going to be shaping global trade, which I think over time is going to diminish in importance. We're going to be seeing shifting taxation structures already. That was already agreed by the finance ministers, not by the heads of government, of course. So we're already moving towards a new way of doing things. The G7 may be on the sidelines waving pom-poms and cheering it on, but we're already seeing these economic shifts come through.
Let me beg to differ for a moment, because I think the anti-foreign sanctions law that was passed last week by the Chinese administration is an indication that the Chinese are responding now to what they see as increasing pressure on them from Washington and other countries in this so-called small circle, as they described it. And this law allows countermeasures against foreign companies, which include refusal to issue visas, denial of entry, deportation, sealing, seizing, and freezing property of individuals and businesses. Increasingly, this suggests that the international business community is going to have to decide whether it wants to do business in China, or with the West. I think that has massive implications potentially for global growth.
Well, that's the sort of sanction that any government applies. I mean, the United States applies those sort of sanctions. It's applied against Iran as early as 1979. It's applied it against Russian citizens. This is what happens. If you're going to apply sanctions, you do seize property, you do deny visas. That's exactly what global sanctions are all about. So I'm not sure that there's anything particularly new there. And I don't think it's quite so straightforward as a binary choice. It's more about how you want to position your supply chains, and perhaps more importantly, the economics of your supply chains, because the economics of outsourcing has shifted. It's not so attractive to be outsourcing production now as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. China won massively in the third industrial revolution with a model which deliberately sought to attract outsourcing, did a fantastic job of doing that. But that model is now turned on its head in the fourth industrial revolution. I'm not sure that this continues anyway. So it's not a binary black and white choice, I think, between do we do business with China or do we do business outside of China. I think it's more about changing the nature of the relationship and China's role in the fourth industrial revolution, which is going to be shifting.